He could drive to the chicken shop one year. That's what he could do.
I take it easy.
We've started. Do you know what this is? Yeah, I've just seen Pandora's box open.
Yes.
At this point, he knew.
We didn't even start recording yet, man.
I have to do the racist shit from him every week.
I don't think I've said anything that racist on this podcast ever.
He's like, don't worry, I'm about to start.
Nothing that if I hadn't laughed.
No, yeah. No,
That's the fun.
That day's coming, you know, where like there's just no laugh, and I'm gonna be like, we're gonna cut that. We're gonna cut that.
That's correct ending. That's correct ending.
On 3 speeds, often there's something like, and I'll just pan straight to Nico and just be like,
We good. So many podcasts here, man. You making money.
We need to at some point do a Patreon episode because at this point it is literally just robbery. It is genuinely not acceptable.
Can't like send them pictures or something.
Of what? Of what?
we're not made of £5.
Send them a picture of your balls.
No.
Yes.
Why would we would lose? I'm pretty sure that's a sex crime. If I
No. If they pay for it, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. Do you know there's people that are on OnlyFans who sell ratings of people's cum shots.
Oh.
Of a cum shot?
You send them a cum shot and they'll rate.
How
it
do you
for
rate that? It's just kind of like, okay, cool. There's a good spread.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but they pay. People pay to have their cum shots rated.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
We are. All right, so I can
we
say this
started.
now that the fiasco's over. I came blood the other day.
Fucking hell. Okay, that is a way.
Let's start the
Life for life.
Okay, well, I can't only. This isn't sound
I
too great
wanna
in
know
my
more.
headphones.
But I don't know if I want to.
Does your headphones alright?
My headphones, I can hit. I don't know if I can.
I'm all right on the headphones. Are yours?
1, 2. Does it only come in on one side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's those headphones.
All right.
Or it's the thing. It's not happening. It's okay.
I mean, this is our most disastrous start to a podcast yet.
Did you come blood into a woman? That's like extra AIDS.
Ooh, potentially.
That's your cum and blood.
Extra AIDS, you know.
No, I. Do you know what it was? I didn't realise. They said to me like after my injury, innit, that I wasn't allowed to have any sexual activity for 6 weeks, and I lasted 6 days.
Oh wow.
So I got 6 days in, and I was like, I can't.
I need to.
I can't. It wasn't even like it wasn't. It was just like it had to be a solo act.
Right.
Like I just missed it.
Have you explained how this was called?
I got kneed in the balls. Yeah, I spoke about it on last episode.
All right, okay.
And then Louisa got really pissed off that I was telling my story. So
It was a long story.
It's a long story.
It was engaging. There were ups and it was like an indie movie. You know what I mean? There were like side characters and whatnot.
Yeah, it's much like Juno, that story, wasn't it? Me getting kneed in the balls.
But Louisa's just not as invested in your ball journey, I guess.
Have you come only once since then?
No. Since I was reading up online, and every
flush it out. Is that? How it
yeah. Well, I kept sort of thinking it could be fucked up. So let me introduce today's. Let's introduce the guest. Let's introduce our guest first.
We have Luke Craig in the building, comedian.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I was about to list a bunch of stuff.
right?
Right, yeah, originally, yeah. I made it out though.
Where you living now?
In Bromley, so not too far.
Oh, that's all right. That's a Croydon move. What bit of Bromley?
Money.
Whoa, Jesus Christ! You want people to know where I live?
Yeah, man.
No. It's kind of like Downham, which is kind of like the
Yeah.
we say you don't know. It's like we say Bromley, but it's like poor people's.
Yeah. Proper going out Kent way.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, my borough's actually Lewisham.
Oh,
My borough's
okay.
Lewisham, so it's closer.
Okay.
But it's it's just like the hood.
Yeah, I was born in Kent, innit?
Was you?
Yeah.
What, Farnborough?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Yeah. That's where people from Croydon would go to have their kids because Croydon Mayday Hospital was shit.
So is it called Mayday?
It's not called that no more. It
It used to be called Mayday. That's why
It was bad.
It was so shit.
It was bad. Do you know what? One time I got my head split open.
Yeah.
Cracked open, and I travelled from way out. I think it was Basingstoke. I came in, And then they had me waiting so long. There's no point stitching it up now. It's just it stopped bleeding now. It stopped bleeding now, and it's like, yeah, all right, thanks for that.
Yeah,
It's like medicine in the 1700s. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I went the other day for my balls, like when they were hurting. I had to travel back from Bath. I was like, I've got to go to hospital in it, and then I went to. I made sure I went King's College, because I was like, at least they've got a helipad. And that just says
For your balls. You think they're going to use a helipad for your balls?
How big were these balls?
Land them here. They're swollen. Land them here.
No, they got a helipad, so it screams.
You Googled hospital with helipad?
No, I just know. Do you know how I know? I went to get my second dose of my vaccine, yeah, and as I was going down to get it, because where I live in Fulton Heath, yeah, you've got, you know, like that bit of Fulton Heath that goes sort of Norbury, Fulton Heathy, you know, that bit where it gets like when people say they're from Fulton Heath and they're like, Fulton Heath's rough, the centre of Fulton Heath is fine, but there's this like block in Fulton Heath where it's fucking just the Gaza Strip. It's chaos.
Wait, where's that? What are you talking about? What?
As if you're walking down, so you go not down near like Green Lane. So say you're at the Tesco, yeah? You come out, there's a clock tower, and you take the left and you start walking down where it gets like, it starts getting Norbury, Fulton Heath.
So you talking about Melfort Road?
Yeah, all round down there. Where it gets.
What are you doing Google Maps for? Just get to the what?
Yeah.
What's this?
No. We know. We know.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I went down there, and there was just like, it was all cornered off, like so many police vans. And then I saw a helicopter landing because some lad had been stabbed. And I was like, all right, well, this puts my vaccine into perspective. My little feeling a bit nervous because I'm getting a needle. And I was like, I wonder if I could get the cunt who stabbed him to do it for me.
That's accurate. What were we talking about?
Oh, I mean, coming blood.
Yeah.
Was it like, tell us more.
Yeah, it was a bit, I mean, it wasn't my finest moment.
Right.
Has it stopped now?
It's a mixed emotions, that, isn't it? Because you're kind of like elations and then, oh, fuck.
Oh yeah, dude. You think you've got?
You think cum comes out stuff, blood don't.
You think you've had like post nut shame. Trust me, when you're looking at it,
like, blood. It's like a murder scene. Oh my god.
You know, and after the week I had, I was just like, yeah, no, this is fine. I'll take this now if I just come a bit. But I think it was because like what had happened, I had internal bleeding in it. So I kept throwing up the next day, and that's...
So someone kneed you in the balls and it made you throw up?
Yeah.
Did you have that achy feeling in your stomach?
Yeah.
You got his ball in his stomach.
Yeah. Bro, I started, because what had happened in it is where the impact, the lower right testicle, like the bottom bit of it, basically they had to take a little bit of it out because that had ripped. So, and what happened is the balls start... Why the fuck is that funny? Why are you laughing?
Because it's the precision, the lower right testicle.
Yeah.
1.5 balls.
It was quite funny watching Luke's face, and then you just go like Beavis and Butthead.
And but what had happened is I had like internal bleeding, so I kept feeling really faint and ill, and that's because I was just losing fucking
So what?
blood.
You're from your balls? When you said
Yeah, I don't quite know how the anatomy of it worked, because they were explaining to me before they did the surgery. They went, it's very likely you lose a testicle, or they went, you have to be prepared to lose a testicle. Always. Because we don't know what's going on in there, because it's so bruised and bloody. When we did the ultrasound, we couldn't see what was working, so we're gonna have to open you up, see what's going on, and close you back up.
Are you still lucky to lose a testicle, or is it?
No, it's all done now. But it was, the scar's fucking gnarly.
What about fertility in the future?
They were like to me, because that was it when they brought me in for the surgery. Yeah, so when I had to see the doctor, this is after like a day of everything. The doctor starts with this: you can lead a perfectly normal life with one ball. He's like, and I'm like, oh, he's like, lots of people only have one ball, and I'm like, yeah, Lance Armstrong and Hitler. What a club I'm fucking
Hitler
joining.
had one ball.
Hitler had one ball.
Do you not know the song?
Do you not know that?
No, I didn't know Hitler had one ball. I've got more important things to pay attention to than Hitler. Did you know Hitler had one ball?
I think so. Was it a Jewish doctor?
I think
He didn't know.
Was it a Jewish doctor?
That's why he hates them. I had 2 testicles before.
What a reaction!
I just making links.
Yeah, but yeah. So it was kind of fucked up. It was fucked up. Like when they told me I could potentially lose a ball, I went out of the room, innit? I went and sat on the floor. I like, had a cry for 10 seconds, and then the doctor came over, put his arm around me, and was like, "I didn't realise you lost them both already, you little." Fuck.
Did he actually say that? No.
That's something you would say. You the
That's
doctor.
the sort of bedside manner that I think we
Come on,
need.
get up.
The Andrew Tate bedside.
Were you upset though? Did you
cry?
Was you upset?
Yeah, there was like a half-hour period where basically I didn't tell anyone I was about to have surgery because I didn't tell my mum, I didn't tell my dad, I didn't tell anyone I knew for a little bit because I didn't want to deal with their emotions while I was still processing mine.
Of humour.
Yeah, but then I told my WhatsApp group with like a load of comedians in it. I told you and Jamali.
Yeah.
Where Jamali was like, "What hospital are you in?" I thought that's nice. He's going to come see me, and he was like, "Rah, that's far." When I told him, he was like, "Yeah, but that's mad. That's still mad though, bro." Like you and Jamali like were quite ambivalent.
Yeah, I wanted.
What can they do? Are they going to come here and hold your other ball? Like,
Mike started asking for pictures.
Yeah, I wanted pictures.
He was asking for pictures of my ball.
Yeah.
And in my other group, like comedians, Daniel Soss and Ryan Cullen just fucking sorted my head out by like attacking me, like just full on my kind of humour, just beating the fuck out of me. And I was like, this is making me feel better, the fact that they're just laughing at me about it.
Yeah.
So then it made it a bit less scary. They were good friends.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was trying to do the same thing. You taking a picture would take your mind off of it.
Why did you want to see it? What did you think you'd get from seeing a picture of his balls?
It'll be
Swollen
like
balls?
purple and big and shit.
Whoa,
It was purple.
Pause, bro. Pause. I said purple and big.
Wear
Your
passport like Barney. You know what I mean?
I love you. You love me.
My testicle fucking reading bedtime story.
Was it discoloured as well?
Yeah, it was like purple and brown. It like started like getting like deep purple. What happened on?
Like an aubergine.
Yeah, like on the Sunday, like 2 days after it happened, because I'd gigged here on the Friday. I gigged at Vauxhall on the Friday, and I was like, it hurts, but I'll be all right.
What, the gig?
And then the Saturday, I kept throwing up, and I was going down to Bath. And I was like, all right, this might be a problem now. Like I shouldn't be throwing up. But I got to Bath and I was like fevery and stuff. I just couldn't hold it together. Did the gig was okay. And they have a flat down there. So I was like, do you know what? I'll stay in the flat so I don't have to go back to London. And I'll just sleep here and I'll just put some ice on my balls. It'll be all right. And the next day I woke up and I was like, nah, this is fucked. So I got trained all the way back to London, went to King's College, and like, yeah, they had to like open me up. But they had to open me up the next day and just like have a look. And it was good. But, you know.
Have you seeked revenge on the guy who did this?
Oh, bro, I'm going to fucking murder him when I get back to
I
the
hope he
gym.
gets the other one.
You thought that was a mistake, didn't you? That's the ball maneuver.
It's so funny if he fucked you up again.
Yeah. Or in the 6 weeks I'm off, he just comes a killer at the gym. I had a mate message me from the gym like, we'll find out who it is and we'll get him on the map for you.
But like, he's a newbie. He just did it by accident. Why'd you have to beat him up?
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, but it's his balls though.
Yeah.
You can't be making those.
Can you not
mistakes.
just like?
so quickly.
I'm thinking about.
Come on, actually, it is a testicle.
He nearly lost one of his testicles. Like you need to be punished for that.
Yeah,
Why are you fighting with a new guy and getting?
Well,
fucked up like that?
he was on the mat. He's there to do it. You shouldn't fucking throw a flying knee into. So don't get me wrong. He's new. I'll take 70% of the blame. I'll take that. I should be wearing a cup. I need to be selective with who I roll with. However, that 30% that he's to blame for, I still get him back for that. I hope he comes to MMA. I'm just gonna fucking like head kick him.
Really?
Yeah.
And I feel like he won that one. Even if you do head kicking, he's like, yeah, I got your balls.
Yeah. They were like, one of the coaches came in the gym, Colin, when I was just lying on the floor, like, he was like, bro, you need to go find who did this to you, you know. Like the coaches will be, there's kind of an unwritten rule, like if someone puts you out for an injury or someone does something, if someone hits you hard, you're allowed to react the way you see fit, you know, especially when people do it. Happens a lot where someone will be sparring a pro. It happened a lot at my old Muay Thai gym. Like someone would be sparring a pro, and the pro would be chilling in between rounds where they have to fight someone else who's at their level. So they'll come over, they'll be sparring with someone, they're taking it light, and then this person might be a bit new and be like, cool, and just throw like a mad hook at them, and they'll be like, all right, cool, and then just doof, 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 and let them know.
I was taking it easy with you.
Yeah, you can't do that to me,
yeah.
bro. Like, and that was kind of encouraged in my old gym. Like, you could get fucked.
And then they closed down because of
Yeah.
manslaughter.
You're not far off. They closed down because of manslaughter, but the place was nuts. But yeah, it was a good gym.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Does he
Apart
know-
from the slaughtering of men, but yeah, it's all
Did
right.
you know that he done this to you? Did you know you went to hospital and all that?
He didn't seem that apologetic when he did it to me, and I was fucked up. Like,
Oh, really?
I was in a bad way. I was off the mats from throwing up.
Wow.
Well, you threw up straight away.
No, I threw up about 30 minutes later.
Really?
Yeah. I knew it wasn't like a hit to the balls I'd ever had before.
Have you had many hits to the balls before?
I've had a few, yeah.
And you still won't wear a cup?
Nah, man, it's kind of, you know what I mean?
Are you gonna wear one now?
Nah, but I'm not gay. No.
That's the gays famously do.
You know what I mean?
Wear cups.
No. That's funny.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely. I've ordered a nice one for like 40 quid. I've
nice
gone
one.
out.
Did you go Carnival this weekend, Luke?
Nah, I don't go.
You don't go Carnival?
Nah.
Why not?
I've got trauma from Carnival. I used to be in a lot of problems. Do you know what? There was
Were you a troubled youth?
yeah, man. I was in a lot of trouble. Do you know what? There was one time before Carnival. There was a one of my friends got stabbed, and then it was like a movie. Yeah, I can't remember if all the problems got squashed or whatever. But these guys we had the problems with, and my group of friends, we all ended up on the same train on the way to Carnival, and it's everything's silent. We're just everyone's just looking at each other on the train because we know like we're out
You
of
still want to
ends.
respect the.
Yeah. Like no, like we don't like each other, but we're out of ends, and like we know like if we start fighting it, we're all gonna get nicked anyway. So it's like so we're all on the same train, just and it's like
Making eye contact.
yeah, well, kind of, but not really. Like, no one wants it to kick off,
Yeah.
and then we get off the train and we all go our separate directions. And then when we get back to the end, we still fighting and whatever. But it's like I don't know. There's too many problems. I
The thing about Carnival is like you're going into somebody's hood like a lot of the time. That's where the stuff is taking place. So like you're just being flagrantly in somebody's hood.
it's not even somebody's hood. It's just that everybody from the hood goes into this one area,
Yeah.
and it's just like you don't know who. And you know, black people, too many of the hood youths in rubbing shoulders together can cause a problem. Do you know what I mean? So
Why
I just
can't Negroes just get along?
Do you feel there's that thing as well? Yeah, because like a lot of guys, I wasn't involved in anything growing up. Like it was going at my school, but I was just like a fat little emo kid, so I wasn't invited. I was on the football team, so I knew a few like people involved in things, and like they were so like the epitome of toxic masculinity. Like was like these little road kids who were like 15, who were the youngers of something, so they'd feel they'd have to like rep a bit harder, but then they were also shit with girls because they were like walking around being on road, which just no one finds attractive. And then you got that, you throw that in the mix of Carnival, it's going to cause fucking chaos.
Hold on 1 second. You think that the road youths are not found attractive by girls, the guys on the road?
No, they probably I
He's like, not the girls I like. I like a bit more upper class woman, thank you very much.
Yeah, they're not.
They like a bit of road too.
The girls at Underworld Camden.
Not my type.
Ain't into younger S-strap or whatever they're fucking.
No, you're right.
One with cut marks all over the arms.
Ironically, the rod mate can give him out.
You know what? You're not far.
That's type in it like.
It used to be. Yeah, I don't know why I said it like that. Yeah, no, I used to like.
How many cut marks before you knew you were in? Like 05, I can definitely.
Oh, I'd always have it like, hey, you should be the reason for a ninth one. No, I'm joking. No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking around. But that was so like, would you? Because I've never been Carnival.
Yeah.
Same reason.
Carnival.
The same reason I don't go Pride. It's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, but like just
No,
celebrate.
what do you mean nothing to do with you?
Like it's
It's
nothing.
about having a good time.
You go get jerk chicken almost every other
I'm
day.
not gonna have a good. I'll go get it. I'm not gonna. Look, the way I view Carnival in it is like, I'm not gonna turn up and like, I'm not gonna whine. I'm not gonna catch a wine or anything like that. You know what I mean?
One is not whining.
Yeah, exactly. But
There is no dirty whining.
I know partake.
Oh no! Did you hear about the story that a police officer was headlocked and they started grinding on her, and now they're searching for them because they're classifying it as sexual assault.
Yeah,
No,
good.
because they got in a headlock. What? Forced their going up on her. What do you mean that's not?
What do you mean?
The way Jamaicans dance is
You
like,
need to be that lawyer the way you change the terminology of that clear assault.
no, but well, yeah, you know what? Jamaicans do dance quite forcefully, but
Your Honour.
but my defendant thought it was just a harmless dance.
Magnums, Your Honour.
Put him in the head, yeah, and that, someone else got arrested for kissing a police officer.
Yeah, that again.
Mission.
Sexual assault.
I didn't know a kiss was classified as sexual
Yeah, but
assault.
not if it's not consensual.
Yeah.
then,
I didn't know sexual assault though.
Well, yeah, it's like
Say something a sexual act, innit?
yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of conversations I was reading on the Met Police Federation say like we hate police in this event, we dread it the most, but yet nothing gets done about it. I think there is sort of a political angle involved in terms of like nobody really wants to sort of talk about the crime and shit that can happen at Carnival. But then sometimes I think, there's 2 million people that go, and then I think maybe
There's 2 million people that
so
go.
it's the second biggest carnival in the world.
Fucking 2 million people go to it.
Across the 3 days.
What?
It's as big. It's like second after Rio de Janeiro. That
Get
one.
the
Is it
fuck
3
out.
days? I thought it was 2. Is it 3 days?
No, you got the Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, okay. Is it Saturday?
I think
And it's
it's
Sunday,
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, I thought.
No, I think they run on Saturday. 3 day event.
You sure?
I'm sure.
I thought it was just a kids' day and an adults' day.
Yeah.
I think they listen. It's
What
not
the
been-
fuck happens on the kids one?
It's just
less stabbings.
Oh, right, okay, right. Thank fuck for that.
It's not a headlock, more of a Chinese blow. You know what I mean?
I'll see you tomorrow.
But so I think there were like 200 incidents, and like, listen, you can't discount.
200 incidents. Is that all there was? 200 incidents.
Right, but I would say you can't. There's still 200 incidents.
Someone, hold on,
like-
200. Someone got stabbed and murdered, so you can't go. You
might
can't
have
go
got
to
stabbed
200.
any
You
other
can't go to
time.
200 incidents.
Yeah,
You
but for
can't
2
go-
million people, 200 incidents.
It's very well
They're
behaved.
trying to cancel the whole thing.
For the most part, it's very well. And then you look at something like we did Reading and Leeds,
Yeah.
and
I swear to God, if you make this comparison,
people were burning down tents.
But a
at
tent
Reading.
got burnt down.
Multiple tents
Yeah?
got burned down.
And I'll say,
And the
sorry.
16-year-old took ecstasy, died.
Yeah, all right. So there was a pussy there, and what? Like,
I had the funeral. That could have been us because we were looking for.
He was crying over getting kneed in the balls.
like, no, but that was fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. But
I like the remorse. So I should have said that.
Which is not an apology.
but I'd say this is like because we were at Reading and Leeds.
Yep.
I'll say this definitely more about Reading because we didn't venture out at Leeds at all.
No.
We didn't even walk past.
I didn't venture out either.
No, but at Reading, when I was walking around with Darcy, I was like, oh my God, this is fucking horrible. And the kids who I was watching it all on TikTok, like they were having some war between the orange and the yellow camp, or purple and orange camp were beefing. They're all
Are those
throwing
gangs
stuff.
in Reading?
Yeah, it's interesting sociologically, isn't it? Like the minute you divide people of that age, it's like Lord of the Flies. They immediately start, we're orange. But they started beefing, and all of them involved in that should be found and then told like, all right, no festivals for 10 years for you. You're on a ban. You don't get to go to a
Same
festival.
with the guy who stabbed at Carnival. Listen,
He should go in prison. He shouldn't be banned from Carnival.
Life in general, locked away.
but I just think like I don't want to do a racial comparison for everything, but I just think you to say ban Carnival.
I don't think ban Carnival, but it does seem like, and again with Reading and Leeds, I'm not going to say, but it came annoying when I was looking on Twitter where it was like the things going on at Reading and Leeds and people were going, oh look, white kids can act like this, but black people, and you go, yeah, but nobody got stabbed to death. That is the difference. Like you can't just scream 16-year-olds behaving like 16-year-olds.
So he looked at me like, Luke, jump in here, please. Defend our people, Luke. I'm like, he's right.
Reading Festival, you literally have to go through security. You can't do that for Carnival. It's just people.
Oh no, then what's the other angle?
What do you mean?
If you can't stop and search everyone and see people on the way in, then what's the other way to fucking deal with it?
They do actually search you.
Oh, they do.
As soon as you get off the train,
I swear down.
they searched me. Hey, buddy, come over here. Come on. You know what this is about.
You just told us a story of you nearly having a fight with other people from ends on the train.
Yeah.
I'm glad that there was police at the other end.
They're like, yeah, all right.
But that is, because I'm my thing with Carnival is I don't think it should end. I'm not one of these people that you should ban it or whatever. However, I can also go, I imagine if you lived in that area and for a fucking week and a year, there's this chaos that happens, where some of it's going to be fun, and another part of it is you're going to have just fucking anyone's coming into your road, drinking, partying, and
3 days a year. And like,
Pretty sure it's 2.
It's definitely 2.
It's 2 days.
I know it's 2.
It's 2 days,
man.
Have you been Carnival?
Yeah, I went like
It doesn't sound like you didn't really be Carnival.
Mike
Take his black
ain't
card
been
away.
Carnival.
Listen,
Michael enjoyed Carnival as much as I would.
Yeah, I don't like bashment. That's why I don't go. Also, I don't want to get rejected catching wine. My best way of catching a man would be to become a police officer.
Put him in a headlock. Why don't you?
But I'm the same with when I was at Reading last year. I went and watched Liam Gallagher. I thought, fuck it, I'll go watch him. Went with a few mates, and I was by all these teenagers who'd been locked up, and this is their first time out. And one of them was near passing out, and we're by this fence where they separate people. So I was like, bro, what have you taken? You need help in it. You need some water here. And he was like, oh, I just smoked weed, innit? And I was like, do you think I'm fucking stupid? Like, you're clearly off your face on Mandy. So he ended up passing out, so we had to pass him.
You diagnosed him. You know exactly what he was on.
Yeah.
I know that face.
Yeah, I know. I know someone banging out on
It's
Mandy.
like if you saw a stab victim, you'd know.
That was a 7-inch knife. That was a 7-inch knife. Rambo edition. Thank you very much.
It's not touching artery.
You've been stabbed?
Yeah.
Fuck. What was that like?
What? Did you just
Do you know what?
Painful?
No, it wasn't. That's the funny
Really?
thing. It wasn't.
You
And
didn't
I
cry?
didn't. No, I didn't even know I didn't. I didn't realize, and I got arrested. They arrested me because I tried to drive my car. Home was like, no, you ain't going nowhere, and they put me in the back of the van and took me to the hospital. And then they tried to take me back to the station after.
Whereabouts were you stabbed?
My neck.
Wow.
Fuck.
Crazy.
Oh, you've really trumped my ball story. Oh.
That's mad. Have you seen how quickly people can die when they get stabbed in the neck?
Yeah. The blood can hit like pow. If
Yeah,
you
I
get certain
saw-
arteries, the force it comes out of you.
Yeah, you've seen
So
that.
when you were trying to drive home, what was your thought process? Were you not thinking?
I was trying to think. I'm gonna kill these guys. I'm trying to get to another weapon or something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away. The police on the scene. Okay, we can't do nothing now. Let me get away and find out what's wrong. I felt all you feel is just something warm on you, just that's
Yeah.
my blood. And I'm like, bro, what's going on? Don't worry about that. But they said, no, get to the hospital. Took me to the hospital, and I was like, all right, cool.
Was that the end of your days on road?
Do you know what? I'm gonna tell the story. Yeah?
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't the end of it. Do you know what? I feel like it was God. Yeah, because the next day, this is a true story. The next day, I was meant to buy a gun. Yeah. And then the person who was meant to say, you like, God, fucking hell. The person who meant to
We
sell
need
it.
to start checking our guests. Before we,
The person who said,
quick
the person who
background
said they was going to
checks.
sell it to me said, no, I'm not going to, because it was someone I knew quite close. He was like, no, because this is going to go berserk now.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. You got background checked by the guy selling you.
Do you know, it's crazy.
Your
But
arms dealer had a moral code. Hold on. Your illegal firearms dealer does more checks than some states of America.
Because he had a moral. Because I knew him very well from when I was a young lad, and then he was like to me, "Nah, you know what? Because of what's just happened." He's like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We're not, and maybe that could save my life. I could have been sitting down in prison for the rest of my life right now.
Yeah,
You know what I
but-
mean? So things happen for a reason, man.
But you sound way cooler because you'd have killed the guy who stabbed you.
Yeah.
That would be a-
yeah.
yeah.
Did you
Well,
know how
I'd-
to use one?
What?
Would you have known how to use one?
Yeah.
Gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you mean I would do that?
Have you played Duck Hunt?
How did you find comedy? Like, were you funny back in when you were on road? As well?
And I suppressed who I was, but I'm always a joker. Do you know what? I feel like I was forced. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, and then people take the piss with people like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was my response. That was my response.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. No, I feel like that was my response. So I'm people kind of, I don't like to say I was bullied, but people did try and bully me, and that was my response to it. It's like, and then in
Gun crime.
I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot everybody, bro.
That's every school shooter. Yeah. That's
Yeah, but I would have specifically targeted the bully.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
Black people shoot with purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, you might catch a stray.
Yeah, but we're aiming at somebody. We got the target in mind.
if I could stop holding the gun sideways to look cool.
You idiot, get out of the way.
That's why someone 300 meters away on some American sniper shit gets shot.
That is crazy.
But that's fucked up, man. Can you talk about what led to the incident of the stabbing?
Without snitching.
Do you know what it was? It was just a fight, an argument. It was something. Do you know what? It was a friend's situation who got into something he had previously from a long time ago.
Right.
And then we just got in the melee and everyone was fighting and everything, and I got caught from behind in my neck, and then that was it. It wasn't really a big deal, but no. It's like you know, for it to kick off, what it kicked off over. I mean, and what it turned into. Do you know what I mean? But apart from that, it was nothing. Like,
Do you have friends on road still who are like surprised, like at the guy you are now?
No, I don't really. Do you know what? Most of the people, when you get to mine, most of the people that are still doing it, like they're either in jail or they're fucked up. They're not. It's a young man's game. Do you know what I mean? He who cares less wins on the road. If you care less, then you win. But there's consequences to that. You understand? You keep on pushing it, and then either the police will catch up with you or someone else will catch up with you. But you don't. Very few people can last a long time, especially if you're especially in the violence of it.
Yeah.
If you're smart and you stay low key, you can maybe last a lot longer. But the violence, please pay a lot of attention to the violence. Do you know what I mean?
There was a lad in our school, Dwayne. I was saying, what's he gonna do? And
What's he gonna do? We'll see.
yeah, could easily find out when this is recorded. And my dates are on the fucking line. No, yeah, he used to have to get cab everywhere when we were about 15. He had to get cab to and from school. He had to get cab everywhere. He had to get cab. He was in gas gang.
Yeah.
So I went to school in
That's Brixton,
West
isn't it?
North.
Down in Brixton, right?
Yeah, Tulse Hill Way, Tulse Hill Way. Yeah. He was
So
in
many names.
Yeah, Guns and Strap, and that was
frivolously.
and he was involved in all of that stuff, and they ended up becoming the gang of that area. That ended up, the police were like, all right, that's enough of that.
Yeah, that's what they do,
when like you're saying, like when the police want to, they're just like, okay,
That's
everyone.
that's the problem. Is with the violence, the drugs and all that. People can last a long time low key. But once, because everybody pays attention to the violence, and then they start to get pressure, obviously, from the media and all that. There's stabbings, there's shootings,
statistics coming out.
Yeah, and then
Sadiq.
people, because normal working class people start getting involved in that, right? Like, there's a shooting outside my house. What are you doing about this? MPs and all that. So then, everybody gets involved. So violence, it can't last long on that, man.
Well, that is the thing, innit? Where London, everyone lives next to each other. Whether you walk 2 minutes down that way, you can hit £1 million houses. You walk 2 minutes down that way, you can hit like a fucking a housing block where everything's run down.
Estate,
yeah, but the minute someone is killed there, that is 2 minutes from someone's house. That's why there was a murder outside mine a few years ago. It was a case of mistaken identity, the other side of the park, just across where I live, where they just got the wrong dude. And the minute that happened, the police in like Fulton Heath were like, that's fucking, because I live. I won't say where, but like in Fulton Heath. But
my address is all right.
Yeah. I live by Grange Park.
Yeah.
So like, it was just the other side of the park from where I am, and they, the police ended up.
Was there shooting or stabbing?
I think it was shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, and shootings, they're a lot more like, I think people find shootings more scary because they're not
traumatic. Yeah, because it's guns. It is like a knife. Anyone can get access to it, but someone who's got a gun, they've had to. Its only intention is to kill, or to seriously harm.
Yeah, would you make of like at the moment, like, because I feel like knife crime in London at the moment, I don't know if it's to do with social media. Like I remember when I was 11 or 12, it was bad. It was really bad. Like we used to have school lessons about it, where they'd make you watch. Not you.
No.
We'd used to have to watch like the document. Did you ever have police come into your school?
No, bro. I was living nice.
Oh, we got
You're
certain.
in Essex, though, isn't you?
Yeah.
He's coming into school for what? He's coming to school for? He's coming to school for what?
Personalised lesson just for me.
They just take my cat. Why do I have to leave? You know my son.
Come on, Michael. Come on. You need to explain to you what your people want to do. Come on. We'll just do a little stop and search while you're on the way.
But it's like, no, don't worry. I'll do my own cuffs. I brought them with me.
I've been practicing.
But yeah, but I feel like now at the moment, I don't know if it's social media stuff, but like we had a police officer on his podcast, Dom, like who knows a fuck ton about it, and I think the cuts of funding to police mean police can do less. Like that, this is what happens after this Tory government for this long. You cut a service, the police can't do as much, so that means
I always see Pretty Patel in the bulletproof vest, and she's got a mean mug on. It looks like she's doing.
She wears a bulletproof vest.
She likes to join like raids and shit.
Yeah,
Really?
Not just like going to Downing Street.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that video of Boris Johnson in the bando?
Nah.
With the hat, with the woolly.
Yeah. Some guy's like, oh, I'm in the bando. Boris is Can we get it? Can I send it to you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll send you that, and then I'll send you the woman getting decked at Carnival.
Oh,
That's interesting. I mean, okay, philosophy podcast is what we started off with. You seem like a pretty calm individual now. Like, was there, because like you say about people used to push you, you seem like somebody who like can take a lot and you wouldn't flip.
I never, even when I did have to have acts of violence, I'm not really a person who does it like I'm hot-headed. It's more of a response. I've never wanted any problems. You get some people who, I feel like a lot of bullies are people that have been bullied, so then they're nasty people.
I did that at school when I was picked on. I then reacted to other people.
Who did you used to bully?
Oh, like the weakest of the weak. like below me was like
But that's what
literally kicking in the door of the special educational needs class.
Get out of that wheelchair! Get out of that wheelchair!
I used to be like I used to be a cunt to teachers. But sorry, I'll let you get back.
No, but that's what I think happens. I think people who are bullied then become bullies. But I never really experienced it like that. I'm just like a joker. I just want to have a laugh and have a fun and laugh. But if you take it too far, like I hate bullies. Like when I did become who I was, it was more bullies I would target. Even when I see being nasty people, that's who I'd go after. I don't hate people like that. Do you know what I mean?
Still to this day, like if you saw something going
on
the train or something.
I'm still that person. I don't like to see, like with my own kids. I've got kids now. My kids, even if they witness something, there's nothing to do with them and they don't do anything about it, I'm upset with them for that.
Really?
Get involved. Yeah, get involved. If you see someone getting bullied at school, they'll come and tell me stories. They know, like, this girl, and I said to them, nah, leave her alone. I'll be like, yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? I think that's what's what's wrong with this world is that there's no sense of community no more of anybody. We just all care about ourselves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%. I think there's I totally agree with that, and I find when you do step in with things, it encourages more people to step in. You have to get over that first fear.
I love how Elliot's saying this. He's about to show us a video of a woman getting punched.
We were going to talk about the philosophy of should she have been punched?
No, but there's a true. I think there's a theory like the spiral of silence. Like if you witness someone else not stepping in, it makes you not want to step in, and the more people that witness no one getting involved.
Yeah, bystander.
Yeah. And it makes people not want to get involved. But if they see someone get involved, then it makes you want to get involved, and then together we come and stop it.
That's why we need white women. I think they're very vocal on, hey, you can't do that. That's what we need. I feel like that voice is very necessary.
Yeah, it is. The weird one's like, because this is one that I found tricky. Is like, say a woman is getting harassed, and when I say harassed on a train, I mean really harassed, like
headlock.
Because like there's
not
that thing.
kissed, just like
No, but
just wind it on.
You know, there's a difference between like there was a guy staring at a woman being fucking creep, making her uncomfortable. That guy's an arsehole. But like I was talking about this with Darcy the other day. Like there's a difference between a guy having a look and then put into category, this guy's staring at me, and he's like, "No, I'm just a human being. Like I'm attracted. We're attracted to you. I'm not trying to creep you out."
I was there's a woman with a BBL gone wrong, and I was outside my station, so I was just staring at that for a bit.
BBL,
but you've got you seem quite harmless.
Yeah, but
BBL.
You know, like when they get the butt lift.
Oh, Brazilian butt lift.
Hers was kind of a bit. It looked like a Subway sandwich, like 2 Subway sandwiches, like oblong. So I was just staring at it for a bit. But it wasn't harassment.
For a bit. It sounds like harassment.
Did she witness you staring at it?
No. But I was like on the way into the station and I stopped. And I was like, oh. How does
You
this-
stopped your walk.
Yeah, I was just like trying to work out like the physics. And then I went back about my day.
Because staring is a
Well,
staring
you're
is a form
doing
of
you're doing fucking you're doing E equals MC square in your head about
How
her
does that
arse.
work? How does that work?
I was doing like a 90-degree angle. Like, this doesn't make. But then I went about my day. But I don't consider that harassment. That's like
No, that's fair enough. You
one
just
step world.
yeah. No, fair enough. You should be able to just stare at people with deformities.
Yeah.
You're on the move. Yeah, no, that's totally. Ma'am, I'm not staring at you in a sexual way.
No.
This is more. I'm just perplexed.
How did this happen?
It's like when you slow down at a car crash.
That's exactly what it is. But I was on I've had it a couple of times where I've been on a train, again, going back to like Fulton Heath or something. And although the train I found back to Fulton Heath, no one from Fulton Heath kicks off because everyone's from Fulton Heath. They like know, sort of what they kind of know. Yeah. There'll be a fucking lunatic on it, or like you're saying in Fulton Heath, like that. I think there's always someone who's prepared to take it to 10. Like that's how everyone kind of behaves, apart from the crackheads around the station. And but there was this guy who was harassing this woman, and he was a drunk person, but he was like sort of drunk crackheady. I don't think it was ever going to get physical. But it was just, he was like sat there not leaving her alone. So I just went up and did a like, hey ma'am, do you want to come sit near me? Or
I'm
like
a different kind of creep.
Yeah.
There's always a price to pay.
Hey, you not got any protection money, sweetheart?
Did she say no? I'm all right here.
I'm right with this guy. Thank you very much.
I'm going to take my chances.
So I was like, look, there's a seat over there, and I put my headphones straight back on. I was like, I'm not trying exactly that. Like, no, I'm not going to try. And he came over and started trying to be friendly with me in that odd way. Well, I just had to take my headphones off and be like, bro, I'm not here for a conversation. I'm listening to my music. You got to go down there. Like that's the. I had it with the fucking builder in my house the other day, the plumber guy.
He tried to harass you.
No, he's fucking got a bit.
Where's the plumbing down there, mate?
Just got to my basement. He's like, there's no boiler in it. Yeah, no, there ain't. Is there, mate? But yeah, some plumber came around and started kicking off, and just fucking. It was like that thing of like, I just made him a coffee, and I'm like, you can't talk to me like this in my house, bro.
What do you mean? Why was he? How did it get into something?
He came around and tried to charge my dad 370 quid an hour for plumbing. Hadn't even looked at anything yet, plus 170 quid call out fee, yeah? And I'm not gonna lie, the guy walked in, he was a bit of a simpleton. He was a bit simple, you know, like he was.
What do you mean? They have to study hard to be plumbed.
Yeah, this guy didn't study hard. Well, this is the thing. My dad rang him up, and then I looked him up after. Oh, mate, could we get this up, please?
Yeah.
Could you Google London gas and plumbing, and just click on the reviews? But yeah, so my dad like found these plumbers, came round, and then he was in the house, and they were like trying to charge us free. So we were like, you haven't even surveyed the problem. We don't know. He's like, oh, it's for materials and stuff, and I'm like. What do you mean it's for? You don't know what the issue is.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean materials? So he's like, oh, let me call my boss. Called his boss. I was like to my dad, like, fuck this. This is just bad. So then he came back in and started like just being rude, like passive aggressively rude. And I was like, oh, look, mate, do you want me to make your
Give us an example. What do you mean? How? Give us an
Like
example.
sassy?
No, it was just like, yeah, because you know your house is falling apart. You got things going on here.
Well, I've been there.
Yeah, no.
That didn't sound passive aggressive to me. It sounded like a man who could see what's going on.
Be polite about it, you know what I mean? And I was going like, dude, you've come in, you've not told us what you're doing, you're going down and you're doing things, and you've not explained why you've got to do this or what's going on. And so I'm going to him like, you've not been very personal. And he went to me like, well, I'm just like Gordon Ramsay, mate. I tell it how it is. And I'm like, you can't compare yourself to one of the world's greatest chefs when
You're a South London plumber.
Yeah.
It's a strange conversation.
Yeah, and then he started like he was grabbing, and then he sort of like got in my face. No, he didn't get in my face, but he got in the vicinity of my face. Like, so it was like he took it to 4.
Yeah.
You know, so I just like put my phone and my keys on my table, and I was like, bro, you can't fucking act like this in my house here, like in front of my dad.
Symbol of...
Like, yeah, this is, and also like, if you want to go outside and deal with this, we could go outside and deal with it.
And that's why. Sorry to cut you, but that's another thing where you can't judge a book because you do all the MMA, and he's looking at you like, I'll kick this guy's out. You're like, no, you won't.
Well, he pussied out because he started
near him in the balls.
I know what your weakness is. I was
so there like, don't call my bluff. enough. I don't think I've got the ability.
Not today.
Do you know? I mean, like, do you want to go outside? Yeah, Dad, take him, innit? So then, yeah, he was started going like, "Oh, a punching bag, not me, innit?" And then I was extra pissed off because I was like, "Oh, you fucking bitch! Like, you did all of that." And I say that in a way of like meaning not like female or that. I just mean you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't fucking get confrontational and then back down
And then make out you're the aggressor. Make out you're the one who's the
fuck you, because now you've got me amped up, and then so I had to go for a walk.
Yeah.
Like, I had to do the go for a walk and stuff, and be like, go sort of chill in the park and meditate on it a little bit. Have we got the review?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at these reviews. This is who my dad thought we should get over to do the plumbing. I swear to God, one of the reviews details fucking genuine blackmail.
Is it really?
Yeah. Read my dad's one. My dad's one's at the top.
Mark Steele, these people are utterly terrible. He came in and said, I have to do an investigation. Having asked no questions about the problem, then he said, it's a big job. And an email arrived saying it would cost me £379 an hour plus £149 call-out charge. I said, obviously, I wasn't going to agree to that. So he became aggressive and said, your house was falling down, and became confrontational. As a piece of theatre, it was worth 2 stars.
Your dad really is a performer, man. Just
He loves it.
Excellent writer.
As a piece of theatre, it was worth 2 stars. As extras in plumbing, you'd be better off employing an exorcist to drive the demon out of your boiler. Get someone else.
15 likes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
16.
Oh. Yeah, that woman Polona Samarkova, or the one who left a review there, like literally, it's like just this harrowing account of how she's arrived from Ukraine, and they just try to extort her out of loads of money.
Really?
Yeah. Look at these fucking diggers. But this is the thing with like plumbing and building in the UK.
Well, this guy's it was a great experience. Called out one of these plumbers to my house to repair my boiler, and was really pleased with their professionalism and friendliness. The communication about the problem I had with my boiler was really good, and they were giving me updates on the situation quite frequently. The cost of the service they provided might be a hard pill to swallow. Some people. But I would say it's money. This is blatantly them.
the owner of the company.
Yeah, they're like, it's a bit much. It's a bit much.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It was just I felt bad for how I'd behaved, like going there, because I always feel guilt with those things where like I've got the human that I want to be, and then sometimes the human that I am, and that crossover, like, not even the human that you are. Sometimes you do those things and think, like, am I putting on the front doing this? Why am I getting angry? Why am I getting aggressive? Is this? But then sometimes as a guy, you've got that in you, and is that a bad thing?
How far away are you from the man you want to be?
Oh no, it's a long road.
As it should be. You're 26.
Yeah, it's a long road. Like, are you close to the guy you want to?
It's
not done.
It's tough. It's being honest. That's an honest assessment of yourself. It's like, am I putting this on? Am I acting up to who? Because sometimes you behave in a way where you think you should behave. Like, this guy's doing this, so I'm got to be doing this. And sometimes it's nothing. You don't want no problems. Do you know what I mean? But so, who you want to be is always going to be, wherever you are, it's always going to be moving forward. We're never going to reach, I don't think we'll reach the person who we'll ever want to be. Do you know what I mean? There's always room for improvement, right?
Yeah, I guess like the way I grew up, like as like quite a middle class kid, but in like Fulton Heath and stuff. Like, that's like, sometimes I'm like very self-conscious about my accent.
Yeah.
But like, even when people make a joke about it, I actually kind of recoil, where I'm like, am I putting this on? Like, is this just something I subconsciously put on because I grew up in an environment where I've got to behave a certain way?
I don't think anyone would want to make out to sound like that.
No, but where you're, I can understand what he means though. Where I grew up in the opposite. I grew up like in Croydon, but I was on like on a council row in like a middle class street. You know what I mean, like, so I was trying to be hello. Yes, and it didn't work for me as I was going, and I felt conscious of myself. Like, kids would go away on holiday, and I'm just.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's like kind of. I do know what you mean. Growing up amongst people that aren't the same as you, and it makes you feel conscious of yourself.
Yeah, I definitely felt it at school, like where kids were being, like, especially like playing football with everyone. Kids would be engaged. Kids would be on this stuff, and I very much wasn't. But my father, my dad wasn't around a lot because he was going on tour and stuff. So like, I kind of would hang out with them, but they could they liked me, but they could smell it on me that I was a faker. Like they knew that I was full of shit. Like you can just tell when people aren't about that. Do you know
You
what I mean?
addressed as an emo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
Trying to be
this
on
is-
road.
But this is the thing, like people, you joke about it, but like I mentioned him before, my mate TJ, who was on road, like he would play RuneScape all the time. Me and him were good mates through RuneScape, and he would treat RuneScape the same as he'll treat road. Like it's like a shitter version of World of Warcraft.
Okay.
So he would treat.
You don't know what that is,
Yeah.
No, I've heard of that, but I don't know what it is. But yeah,
It's like a game where like you
Strategy
got,
game.
yeah, you got to go kill like the demons and get this ore, and then I can smith this.
Dungeons
get
and
this-
Dragons
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
thing. Nerd shit.
all right.
Yeah,
you was a fucking geek then.
Luke's going to take my phone just out of principle.
Yeah, give me that, but you don't deserve that, bro. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely. So then, like, I don't know. I guess when I go back to that, like with that guy in my house, where I was just like fucking raging. And maybe I was raging because I'd been cooped up for 2 weeks. I've been hitting the balls. I can't train. That's going to have something to do with it. And he came in and did something that as a guy, if you I do view it this way though. If you disrespect another dude, like we were going to show that video that woman getting banged in the face at Carnival.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, have you got it?
Yeah.
Should we watch it?
Let's finish.
This is the thing that I like try to explain to Darcy and sometimes women is like, I'm not excusing men's behaviour, but when a man feels slighted, you've got to hope that they're going to have the emotional maturity and emotional intelligence to deal with it one way. But it's perfectly fine for some men, to solve it with violence, and they will. So like, don't fuck with someone because you don't know their moral code.
Yeah, I don't think it's okay for anybody to be violent. And if you are violent first, then expect whatever back. Do you know what I mean? I say to my sister all the time, like when she was about, I say, if you had a problem with your partner and he hit you first when you was arguing, then I'm all over him. But if you hit him first, then what do you want him to do? Why are you allowed to hit this man and this man can't do anything back? Do you know what I mean? But if it's words and he hits you first, then I'm on him.
I wouldn't hit. I don't know as I was gonna say, but like I wouldn't hit a woman. I've hit women in sparring. Mind you, I'm fucking like I spar.
You decided to be there with me.
They fuck me up as well. But like but then I do have. I remember saying to like Darcy one time about one of her mates who used to mouth off at nights out. Like she could get into arguments with guys, and I was always said to her like, I'll back her against a guy, but I'm going to let the guy get a shot in first, just so I can go, like, you fucking see, like, and because as a guy, you're always taught, like, I remember when I got smacked up by some kids as a kid, and my dad had to come into school about it, and when it, like, turned out that I'd been talking shit, my dad was like, well, there you go. There you go.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. That was just like, that's what
today.
happened. Like, I don't think as an adult you should resort. I think you should get to the point where you look at violence like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
fuck
it's
it.
always the best to leave it.
Yeah.
And to try as much as you can.
And also with like knives and stuff, and people go, like you said, you could go on the street, be full in the right and smack someone, and they come back and just with all their cousins.
Yeah.
And then
He's talking about black people right there. The way he said that, he was talking about black people there with all their
Talking
cousins.
about Somalians.
That would be travellers as well. There's lots of people with lots of cousins.
I don't know how that makes what I said any less racist.
But all I'm saying is there could be a
Somalians are
number of
Albanians.
races.
No, but white people go and get like cousins and stuff as well.
Yeah, Irish, Albanian.
Irish people, Albanian, Albanian.
They say never fight anyone with a cauliflower ear.
Yeah, the three people I was sort of always told not to fuck with growing up were Gypsies, Albanians, and Somalians.
Yeah, Somalians are skinny, but there's a lot of them.
They used to be in Penge. These are like the ones in Penge. You said about Penge and Woolwich.
I didn't know Woolwich too much because that was the other side of London for me. But yeah, I know about Penge and Streatham.
Oh really?
Yeah, Streatham used to.
Oh
have
yeah, they got that.
Somali Muslim soldiers gang.
Yeah.
Somalian Muslim soldier gang.
Yeah, bruv. You can't be. I feel like you can't be a gang and be like, we're Muslim soldiers, but we're dealing crack.
Right. Yeah.
You can't.
No pork.
You can't.
That's funny.
But yeah, there's so this woman at Carnival. I just want to see what you lot think about this. I don't know what the context to this is because it's only a 15-second video. But this is fucked up. I don't know what's happening here.
Oh my God!
Oh,
it's a white woman.
That was a.
Do you want to watch again?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, she didn't hit him.
She did.
She did.
She's coming up.
There you go.
All right, Mooch.
Reloaded. Yeah, so they're saying like move it to a field. Like,
like that's gonna do anything?
well, like,
Is that what they're saying? Move Carnival to a field.
yeah, like let's stop having it on the. Well, then her head would hit grass instead of pavements. for one thing, for CTE.
But do you think that? Do you think? I don't think that's a fair response from him. Like, because it was a light slap. I think leg sweep.
I don't want to just shake. A good shake.
Yeah, that or give it like
because you can't hit you again. And you can voice your frustration.
Just a push away. Just a push to create space.
Oh, if she
the
slapped,
straight right is
just slap back.
What? Slapping contest.
Yeah, you slap.
How can she slap? No, you shouldn't. You
should. I feel like that one was a bit. That one was a little bit like.
That was a bit Pearl Harbor, Hiroshima.
That's exactly what it was.
But that's not criminal though. What he done, it wouldn't be classified as criminal, would it? Because he got hit first, right?
I don't know. It depends if you
Or
get.
That's excessive force.
You could get in on the street. It's basically what can happen is it'll be like the police will say to her like, you can press charges, but he can press charges. That's usually the way they deal with.
How's it self-defense?
It cancels each other.
They just get you to cancel it out. So if you get in a fight on the street and the police get involved, the police then go, he can press charges and you can press charges. So you can both go to court over this charge, basically, or you can just fuck off.
Do you reckon he would have done that to
So
a bigger guy?
but once again, how can it not be classified as self? Because he got hit first.
Yeah, I mean, if he went to court, he could probably argue that.
But I'm just saying, how could even a police investigation? How could that?
We don't work for the law. Like, the way you're asking, we don't know.
Back to the white guys in the room. Back to the white guys. How does the law work? Tell me, please. Because they change the rules every time I get involved. They change the rules on me.
You're asking with such intensity. I'm like, I don't know. I'm read up for you, I guess.
I was looking around like, yeah.
Do you know what? I noticed how I turned my chair away from Michael. Like, sit down, Michael. I'm not surprised. You know the stuff.
I guess, I guess you could argue that, but then this is the thing. Like, I'd just say, like, watching that video, I think that's excessive. But I also think, like, you go, well, you fuck around and you find out. You know,
it's alcohol. That's what I think it is. Alcohol was the problem. It's people under alcohol. They just act. The alcohol didn't do this to my eye.
How would you feel if you got into an occasion, like they punch you first, you punched them and they end up in a coma or died? How would you feel?
Bruv, I'd walk into G-Wing like a boss.
You see what these hands could do? You see what these hands could do? I'll send you to God.
They call me One Punch Man.
No, I'd feel, but that is always an issue. Like people don't realise you can fucking take serious damage, especially if you're unconscious before you hit the ground and your head hits something. That can really fucking cause some problems.
That's been really annoying
if you hit
me
the back of the head.
In movies recently, just how often they just make someone go unconscious from one punch and then the guy just wakes up or they do like 20 minutes later and it's like, man, there's so much brain damage. Like if you get knocked out, like you're done.
You get CTE pretty easy, but it wouldn't be immediate.
It wouldn't be immediate?
No, CTE is years of head trauma. That's why they're trying to change the rules. They want to take heading out of football. Because of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it's constant. Because basically, when your head hits something, like no matter how, the brain rattles around, and that causes these ruptures, and then that stops the brain working properly, and that's why when you meet older athletes, especially people in American football, a lot of fighters have it. That's one of the reasons they think John Jones is so fucked up. I think
that's why OJ killed his wife.
Is that why OJ killed his wife?
Yeah, because he had CTE.
Allegedly.
No. Allegedly. That's the one. I think that one you're allowed to go. He did it.
I mean, the book says if I did it.
Yeah, but he probably did have CTE. That's what they reckon. Chris Benoit.
He almost beheaded her.
What, Chris Benoit?
No, OJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Stop saying this.
Whoever did it almost beheaded Nicole.
Well, there was
the other guy.
There's that Miami footballer American footballer who went
Antonio
crazy.
Brown.
Yeah.
Hernandez, wasn't it?
No, I think Antonio Brown's different.
Yeah, Antonio-
he's wild, but I don't think he's.
Yeah, Antonio, Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
He killed like 3 people.
Yeah.
They found the car. That's a great documentary.
I haven't actually watched it.
I didn't know anything about it, so it was really riveting. I love it when you go into a documentary not knowing anything about it, and it's as juicy as that.
These are people's lives. No, what happened? I don't know the story. What's the story?
He was an American footballer playing for the New England Patriots, and he killed a guy over fuck all, and like didn't even try to hide the body, or basically like they caught him pretty immediately, and they tracked down a car of his. I can't remember how they did it, and then they linked the car to a drive-by shooting. And found out he'd committed a drive-by like years earlier. He'd gone and killed a couple of lads a year earlier over an incident in a nightclub. And it was just one of those cold cases because they couldn't find a motive. It was over fuck all. And then found out and we're like, so he's on trial for murder. And they go, Jesus Christ, he's got another fucking 2 cases.
Really?
Yeah, killed himself in prison.
And he. Oh yeah. No, I heard about. Is that because?
Well, they did an autopsy in his brain, and it's just
CTE.
Just mush.
paper.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
CTE. Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a lot of it happens. It was in high impact sports like American football. You know, they're all gonna get it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you can't even. They're looking at the wrong end of things. You're talking about headering in football. You can't. If you're gonna ban, you got to ban all combat sports. Then
Well, yeah,
you got to do. You know what I mean? You can't let boxing continue and be like, footballers can't
They
header.
should ban boxing.
Well,
that's the
that's
wrong
what they're saying. They think as well. They don't even think it's necessarily the fights. They think it's the sparring.
Yeah.
Because sparring's where you spar a lot, whereas you fight. Most fighters,
Radically,
yeah.
And it's all about not getting hit. But whereas heading is you're trying to fucking hit.
No, but he's talking about sparring as in like the fights happen like twice a year. Some people like fight maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
But sparring, you're constantly sparring all the time. Do you know what I mean? So,
I've had things with my head that I definitely think I forgot. I completely blanked from my mind Jamali being at a friend of ours' funeral and asked him, do you remember at Hackney Empire? I was like, were you at that? And I had been with Jamali all day.
But you were taking copious amounts of drugs.
No, I wasn't.
No?
No, not at my friend's funeral.
Oh, okay.
I had a few drinks. No, I had a fucking pizza.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't taking copious. Is that what you think I went to my friend's funeral?
At the wake. I thought everyone was doing it.
No, not at all.
Nobody took drugs.
No, not that I know of.
You sound like a police officer right now.
Yeah,
nobody took drugs.
No,
Definitely got the notebook there. The notebook.
Genuinely, nobody that I knew did. Someone might have gone and had a joint at some point.
I thought that was Ian.
No, not. It was a fucking sad day.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like, but yeah.
People use drugs for sad stuff too.
I know. Yeah, but it wasn't the vibe.
Taking drugs after though.
No.
After the funeral.
Why do you?
The days and weeks after
He
the
doesn't want to be
funeral.
wrong. He doesn't want to be wrong.
I hope I do have CT so I can blank out you in this fucking conversation. But yeah, but like, I definitely think like, oh shit, if I just as hobbyist being kicked in the head by some that
Brain
not gonna
damage.
be good for me. Yeah, Dom, who was on this podcast, hit me with an uppercut one time that nearly sent me to the shadow realm.
Killed you.
Well, I mean, like,
I don't know what the shadow realm would mean.
it's just.
Well, he can gather it. It's not a good place.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
No one wants to go to the shadow realm. All right. Nobody.
Yeah,
Sounds like lots of shade there. I don't know.
yeah, but I definitely think that that girl's gonna have CTE now. God bless her, wherever she is.
What I wanted to ask, do you, because you're very much into the combat sports,
Yeah.
where do you think that came from? Do you think it came from you being bullied when you was young? Where do you think it came from? Why?
Yeah, fuck, man. I was having this conversation with my girlfriend today where I was saying, like, I don't actually know the answer, but I don't know if it's I think I might intentionally block it out. I think it probably comes from a wanting to be seen or perceived as tough because I know inherently that I'm not. So, like, I know how much of a weak individual I am.
But
So
what,
that scares me.
Why do you think because you could fuck people up? You can.
Yeah.
So why do you still perceive yourself as weak?
I think one of the things that when you train a lot is you get humbled a lot and when I say humbled, like humbling can leave you angry. Like you go in there and someone who looks like on paper you should be able to fuck them up beats you. Like my coach, Kate Balchek, she's class, man. She's unbelievable. And she's just like a small Polish girl who like if we had a fight, she could kill me. Like, I would be at the mercy of her. Like, I couldn't strength my way out of it. She would fucking murder me. No ifs or buts about it.
Yeah.
So I think you get that. That's quite humbling. But then you also, I think I added discipline to my life and stuff that I never got growing up from my parents. So then it sort of became like, as I got older, I started seeing adults who are very disciplined, because most people who, you go to most gyms, you can find the best fighter in that gym. It might be professional, but they're probably not making enough money to live off it. They're dedicating their life to something that really,
for the love,
for
baby.
the love of something, you know. And I think like we as comedians can appreciate dedicating a lot of time on something where you don't see a lot of growth for our ages.
Payoff.
Yeah, so I sort of saw that, and then I just, especially like kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, I just fell in love with it. Like the never-ending pursuit of like it. No one's ever perfected it, so it's unperfectable. Whereas,
Do you feel a physical weakness or a mental weakness?
both. Yeah,
That's double whammy.
yeah. But
What do you mean mental? Sorry, what do you mean mental weakness? Would you, as in?
Like sometimes you quit because you want to quit, and there's sometimes you can push through not quitting, and you'll surprise yourself with like, oh my god, I wanted to quit there, but I didn't, and I got here. But then a lot of times, like, I'm kind of like, I did it in a tournament once. A guy was just winning by points and had me in a thing, and I was just fucking tired, so I just tapped. And people were like, oh, it didn't look like that was on. I was like, no, I wanted it to stop. Like, I was just feeling humiliated. I just felt fucking parents and my friends are watching. Some 19-year-olds beating the shit out of me.
But that's knowing thyself, knowing your body,
Yeah,
knowing
I
what you
guess.
could take at this certain point.
Do you feel like you've had that at all in life?
Yeah, I definitely feel there was an aspect, or there was a gap between me responding when I was a kid to what was happening to me, like other kids, and me actually taking it on. And I feel like there's this courage thing where, like my dad weren't around, so I had to find out for myself about, because I had this feeling when I was a kid, like I wanted someone to come and rescue me from what was going on, and this never appeared, so I had to do it myself. And I watch my children having a dad, that my son listens to me more than listens to himself, as in like his fear, like he's had problems at school, same like I would have had, and I've told him what to do and confront the bully basically, and you can tell he doesn't, like in year 9, and my other son was in year 7, they beat up some year 11 kids who was bullying him, and you could tell he didn't want to do it, and he's like, Dad, I was like, no, go in there and you because he squirted water in his face. I told you, go in there, you squirt water in his face back, and then whatever happens after that happens. And obviously he squirted the water in his face. The kid attacked him, and then my son beat him up. And my other son was fighting the other year. Year 7, the headmaster, we all sat in the head, me and my 2 sons sat in the headmaster office. He's like, this has never happened before and ever. Year 9 and year 7.
You're slightly proud.
No. And they're looking at my sons like, what caused you to do this? Why did you come in and do this? And I'm like, shut your mouth, boys. Shut your mouth.
We got Burger King after this.
I'm like, how could you do this? How could you? But I was proud because his fear, and that's what it is, it's overcoming your fears. His fear told him, I can't do anything. But his dad told him, no, you can do so. And he listened to me. And I realized how important it is sometimes someone there to push you, but sometimes you don't have someone to push you, and you've got to find the strength to do it yourself.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes when I've got into altercations on the street or something like that, and having the knowledge I have where I'm like, I could fucking run through this person, no problem. Although when you train, you sometimes have fear of like, why is this person talking shit? Like, what do they know?
Yeah. Their confidence.
But sometimes I wonder if I'm trying to appease that angry child in me that never reacted back as a kid, that now if I'm getting in his fucking plumber's face, because subconsciously that's me dealing with that. So I kind of deal with that a lot of the time as well. But then I'm a product of the environment I grew up in. I noticed it with my girlfriend, where my girlfriend's like, I've never known someone to react as quickly as you do to these situations. I was like, yeah, well, when I went to school, it's like if something happened to you, the next day 2 things happened to you, and the next day it's 4, because you
It's like prison.
Yeah. You then came a victim, and I had that enough of my life that like now I don't.
You're very much sensitive to it now. As in the moment, because that's true. If someone sees weak, it's like they're like sharks, and they will attack you if they see any weakness in you. So you're not, and even if you're removed from the environment, it still seems to stay with you, and you're like, I can be very much, is this person taking the piss out of me? And the moment I think they are, then I can, you know what I mean? It can get, but if I try and stay away from it, I'm trying to give people it's not malice. They're not trying to do that. But if I feel like they are on me, then I'm like, it gets a bit sideways.
Yeah, there's like a comedian as well, like Dave Longley. I don't know if you know him. Like Dave Longley's jacked, fucking.
Yeah, I see him on Twitter. He's funny.
He's funny.
Like,
He's
dark.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Dark
Like, he doesn't give a fuck. Like,
No.
He can do pull-ups.
He can do pull-ups, and he has that like in him. Like if you ever speak to Dave, what I love about him is he's like clearly a quiet, nerdy individual who has this exterior of he's a fucking beast. But then you speak to him and you're like, oh, I recognise that like quiet sort of like you've clearly someone's picked on you in life and now you fucking deal with it through lift it. Like I deal with it in a similar go lift weights, train, do these things, and then, but you still, you know, you're never quite. I don't know what it is. I guess for me, it's probably like going to therapy and dealing with bits of my childhood that I need to deal with.
Like everyone's worried people can see through them, see their fears and shit.
What's your fears, Mike?
My fears.
Yeah.
It's probably that same childhood thing. You know, I didn't have a male role model growing up, so it's just trying to figure out how to be a man. I think I'm quite. I would say I'm a little bit of a scared individual. I feel like deep down inside, you know, I'll go Fulton Heath and I'm just always on edge for good reason. I've seen the statistic. You know what I mean? But, like,
It's not abnormal to me.
That's just wise.
yeah.
I think I am someone who's like a bit on edge and a bit fearful in certain situations, and I'm trying to hide that by being calm. So if I have a calm exterior, then it will look like I'm just in control. The same when I went into comedy, you know, I was very scared on stage, but I was like, if I just appear laid back, it will look like I know what I'm doing. So I think that's why I don't really do it through fighting. I do it through meditation and journaling. Like, let me try and know myself so I can be more of a calm individual throughout life. But it just comes from that fear of like, I don't really know what's going on. I don't really know how to handle it. And yeah, but you know,
When you say handle it, what do you mean handle what? What are you talking about handling?
just whatever's coming next.
Have you ever been
life.
in a fight?
Not a long time, maybe like year 8, year 7.
Okay.
Last
All right.
time I've been in like a fight, but no, I've always pretty much avoided it. My whole adult life, yeah.
See, it's interesting. It's interesting going through certain things in your life because I can see both sides of it, and I think the best way to be, what I try and teach my kids is my daughter asked me the other day. She asked me, "Why do you want us to fight?" And I was like, because I want you to be able to handle yourself. I want you to be and have the confidence to know that if it does, you always try and avoid it, but if it does go to that place, you're comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Just being able to handle yourself. Because I feel like if you don't, there is a fear. There is a certain fear I don't have. There was a confrontation at a comedy club, Fulham Comedy Club, where this guy was being a bit rowdy. And when I spoke to him, and he come marching up to me, big guy marching up to me, and everybody was like, "Why did you speak to him? You should have waited for security." And I was like, "There's no issue here." There was no. I think he's like, "Come outside." I was like, "Yeah, let's go outside." Everyone was like having a go at me afterwards, but I'm like, it didn't feel that heightened to me because of the things I've already been through.
Dude, I know exactly what
know
you're
what I mean?
fucking talking about. Where everyone's like, "You were being aggressive, you were being this," and it's like, no, I was asserting like if someone's like, "What, you want to go do this, and it?" It's like you want to come outside and you're going out there cool because you're going out there on the thing of like, if he swings for me, fucking swings at me,
you're
but I'll
right.
swing back. Like, but I ain't gonna get there.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
he's gonna
But
back the fuck down.
Right, but everyone else isn't used to that level,
Yeah,
so they think it's really dramatic. They think that, and it's like, did you see that clip of Mike Tyson running up to Floyd Mayweather like he's gonna punch him, and Floyd Mayweather didn't even flinch? And I put it down to he's had so many punches for it. He knows when the punch is gonna come at him and when he's not, so he's comfortable. But if that had been me, I'd have been like, I'd
been crying.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You're done. But he's so, and it's like I'm used to violent situations, and I can tell I've been punched in my face randomly. Someone come up to me, "Yo, boy, you're bang," and then it's like, so now I'm kind of can feel the sense of it. Do you know what I mean? So, but where you haven't probably been in violent situations, you're probably more heightened to it, and you're like, you expect it, but it's not going to happen as often as you think it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
It's not really ever happened. I don't even mean violent situations. I just mean figuring out this shit called life. You know, having that, like you're saying, your kids listen to you, like more than listen to themselves. Having that sort of a mentor, that guide. Not really ever had that, apart from TV. Maybe your uncle here, there, now and
Cousins,
then.
what about older cousins, nothing like that?
No, not really. So I've always been like just trying to figure this thing out for myself. And you were you the same?
This is what I was having a conversation with Pete about this. That gangs, what they call gangs, yeah, these kids is really a lot of kids that don't know shit, who ain't got no dads, and we're teaching each other things that we've learned. Like, I might have learned from an older brother. Yeah, it's good to have a lot of girls. So that's what we'll come now. Yeah, we like loads of girls. Or one might have a cousin who sells drugs. Yeah, that's how we make money. That's how we do things. And then we're all piecing together this world where there's someone out there with a dad who can tell them, no, that's not the right way to do it. But we're all coming together. We don't know shit, and we're all teaching each other what we think we know. And as you grow older, you learn. Hopefully, you learn through experience the right and wrong way. But a lot of people, they don't ever learn, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm proud of myself. I think I learned, just kind of pieced it together myself. You know, obviously just having a strong mum as well.
Yeah.
Helping, figure stuff out. But even now, I still feel like a little bit of a disconnect, a little bit behind, and I'm still just sort of figuring out.
You're talking about the masculine side of things. Is that
masculine side for sure? And just just being a young black man as well. Just kind of figuring out how to the things you think.
I feel you, young black man.
I just thought like, what?
Did you throw your voice there, Luke? Did you throw your voice there?
I love that he looked at you. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, you're just being a young black man, figuring out like there's no one way to do that, but sometimes you feel like, well, should I be more like this? Should I be more like this? And it's like, no, you are who you are, and there is no right way to do it. The way I'm doing it is the right way.
Understand. You're trying to understand yourself, man. It's tough. It's a tough job, man. People struggle to find out who they are, and there's a lot of push and pull from your environment that makes you think this is the way to be. And there's nothing. There is no right way. You know what I mean? As long as you're not harming anybody, you just try and work it out. But I think a lot of problems come from people just not understanding themselves.
Well, that's why you look at those kids at Reading this weekend. Like they're maybe between 16 and 19, and they're going around doing all this dumb shit, throwing bottles, like plastic bottles full of piss at each other and like hitting things. And you go, yeah, I'd have done that at that age, just out of like, that's what I thought fun was. That's what I thought being. And if you give someone that much freedom immediately, without any guidance, whereas I'm sure if a group of adults walked over and went to him like the end of Lord of the Flies, like going, what are you doing? Like,
you just recently read Lord of the Flies. What's going on?
I'm getting it back into the system.
We might have to wrap up in a minute. But this has been a really good episode.
Yeah, it started out with us being like with me being
Talking about your balls.
Balls. Then
You were
saying
finishing your story.
From balls to deep.
Yeah.
Balls deep.
Yeah, balls deep.
Balls deep.
And that's what this episode's called. And then me laughing at a kid dying of ecstasy overdose, and then like ending up going, yeah, but the thing with masculinity. Like, what happened to me as a kid was traumatic. Well, that's why I'm fucking do. That's why I like dark humor. Like I always found that like when I was younger, like if you could laugh at the situation, like that's why I really like dark comedy, because I think it's just like laughing at a trauma sort of thing is like, you can either be one of these people who tweets about your traumas all the time and fucking, which is lame, innit?
Don't want to be a victim, innit?
Yeah.
I think people handle things in different ways, man.
But my way's the correct way.
I don't know my way.
No, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just think the way you handle things, I don't think anyone means any malice when they laugh at certain things. I just think it's the way where they are. Sometimes I laugh. You see someone fall over. Sometimes why do we find it funny? Remember, you got to understand, laughter's involuntary. I'm not choosing to laugh. If I find it funny, you're having a go at me. I'm not choosing to find it funny. I just find it funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if that's how I handle it, maybe sometimes I laugh when I'm nervous. When I'm here, tense news. My mum and one of my sons, if you tell them anything tense, they can't laugh. They don't necessarily find it funny. I could go to mum and tell them someone's died. My mum will be staring at me like this, wanting to. And she wants to laugh, but that's just her way of handling the tense situation.
Yeah.
So you don't have a go at her for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just the way people are, man.
Damn, Luke. You got anything to promote before we
Yeah, me and Pete at Ret and the Sami are doing a podcast. It's called Luke and Pete Talking Sheet, and it's basically just having little chats, honest conversations with each other. So yeah, check that out.
No, that'd be wicked, man. Like, thank you for coming to do this, by the way.
No, I appreciate you having me, man.
One of our favourite guests ever. Like we've had, we really get a fucking good range of guests on this podcast.
all of them are black?
I've voiced this concern off pod.
I'm trying to say that.
no, yeah. But we've fucking had police officers.
Yeah.
A black police officer.
Yeah. My mate Dom, he's a fucking man. He's an armed police officer.
Really?
Yeah. He's. I think.
Can you erase the first part I said about? I didn't know you were friends with an armed police officer. Wow.
He came on trying to get rid of the stereotype of the police and stuff, and like but you've laughed immediately at him.
that is, you have had a range of guests. One who was trying to put people like me away. It didn't work, Dom. I'm free.
And that's why he didn't sell you that gun.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
But yeah, thank you for coming on. You on socials and stuff?
Yeah. I'm on Instagram at Luke King Craig. Yeah, that's it. What's funny? What is funny about that?
Unless your middle name is King.
My middle name is King. Thank you very much. No, it's not.
We're all kings, Mooch.
Yeah, that's right. The Black King. Wakanda forever.
Elliot Queen still.
Don't do that to him because you're gonna end up kicking your ass. Yeah, you're gonna bring up some childhood trauma.
I'm gonna just straight to the ball.
That made me laugh so much. It was just, it really hurt me. Like it proper cut me, when he said it.
Hey, man, what we got? We're doing a show.
Top Secret on the 12th of September.
Book that.
The day after. Bring your.
Were you about to say the day after 9/11?
Yeah.
Why? Why? 12th of
Get your
September.
decoration.
Enough.
If you've got your 9/11 tree still up, get it out. Bring your leftover 9/11 turkeys. Today we can have sandwiches.
Hey, man, this has been B-Tech Philosophers. Thank you for listening, man. We'll be back next week. Appreciate you guys.
That was funny.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a fucking good episode.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.